In today's video, we're going to talk all about 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5 and trailer hitches. This is a very common question that I get asked. And the reason behind that is for 2025, you still can't find an official hitch from Hyundai and the associated trailer light wiring. So I talked to Hyundai about this and they said there are no plans to release their own trailer hitch or a wiring harness for the US market. They basically said if you want to tow with an Ioniq 5, get an XRT, which can be had with a hitch from the factory. Now, this might sound bad, but I have good news. There are currently two aftermarket 2-inch receiver trailer hitches available, and you can buy the trailer light wiring harness, which is plug and play from Hyundai Canada. First off, let's talk about the trailer light wiring. So this is a wiring harness that you plug into the car and allows you to run a 4-pin connector to your trailer for brake lights, turn signals, flashers. And you may have installed this on previous cars in the past where you basically tap into the brake lights and the turn signals. This is not like that. There is a connector that comes with the car from the factory. You buy the wiring harness, you plug it into that connector, and boom, you don't have to do any wire taps. You don't have to run a ground wire up to the negative side of the battery terminal. It's really simple. I made a video about how to install this on my 2022 Ioniq 5 back in the day. I'll have a link in the description to that if you want to see it. But the issue is that Hyundai just hasn't added it to their store in the US, but a couple people have bought the Canadian version and it works perfectly fine. It's currently available for $181 from Hyundai Canada, and I will have a link to that in the description if you do want to purchase one. I don't really know what's happening with shipping and tariffs right now. At this moment of making this video, Canada Post is on a partial strike. I'm not sure if they're exporting things to the US right now. Plus, you might get hit with a tariff from the US government, so it might end up being a little bit more than $181 in the end. Now, you might be saying, can I just use the existing trailer light wiring harness that's available in the US for 2022 through 2024 Ioniq 5? And the answer is no. The 2025 and newer Ioniq 5s have a totally different connector, so you're not going to be able to use the old one. Now, I wanted to install a harness on my car before I knew about this one being available from Hyundai Canada. So I actually kind of Frankenstein together my own trailer light wiring harness. I bought one for, I believe, a 2025 Tucson. So I plugged it into the car and it didn't give me any of the new menu items that are supposed to appear after you install the trailer light wiring harness. This is going to automatically adjust your range. You're going to be able to set a trailer weight to adjust your range based on that. And when you do plug in a trailer to the 4-pin connector, it does disable automatic emergency braking when putting the car into reverse because it's going to sense a trailer is really close to the car if you don't have it plugged in. So it's going to slam on the brakes if you have a limited trim that has that feature, and none of it was showing up. I did have a Kia EV9 trailer light wiring harness because I was using it when I was developing my door lock module harness. And I took the little brain box that comes with that, plugged it into the kit for the Tucson that I bought, and that did add the menu items for me. Unfortunately, the grommet for going through the bottom of the trunk area wasn't the right size. It must be different for the Tucson, so it's not an ideal situation. I might end up buying this Canadian version, but it's perfectly fine for the time being. The photo on Hyundai Canada's website for the wiring harness is not representative of what you're actually going to receive. They're just using a stock photo from an older Hyundai vehicle, so ignore the fact that it doesn't look exactly like what you should be getting. When I talked to Hyundai, I told them, can you guys just import the Canadian version and sell it here in the US? This way people don't have to deal with international shipping and potential tariffs and stuff, and I have yet to hear back. So now that we've talked about trailer lighting, let's talk about trailer hitches, because that's what a lot of people are interested in. A lot of people like using platform-style bike racks. They like those cargo carriers on the back, and I totally get it. Those things are great. I really don't think a ton of Ioniq 5 owners are towing very often, but it is definitely a nice to have. So in regard to trailer hitches, you have two options. You can go with Torklift Central's Eco Hitch, which is a 2-inch stainless steel receiver, and it barely peeks out the bottom of the bumper. You do have to cut it a little bit. I installed mine on my car a couple months ago, and it was pretty easy to install. You got to remove the bumper. This second time around installing a hitch on an Ioniq 5, I managed to not damage or break any of the clips holding the bumper on, so that was really great. You guys might remember from my Eco Hitch install on my 2022, I did break the main clip that holds the bumper onto the car, but ultimately it didn't cause any issues. And I've heard the same thing from many of you. Once you know how to get the bumper off, it is fairly easy. You kind of push it upwards. You don't pull it out and away from the car. You have to push it up. It kind of slides onto those clips. But I would say installation for me took probably under an hour. The bumper is significantly easier to cut on the 2025 Ioniq 5 versus the 2022. So that was much quicker. All I used was one of those oscillating multi-tools with a wood blade on it. It cut through the plastic like butter. And I've been hauling around my bikes with the platform style bike rack I have all summer, and it's worked great. No shaking, vibration. It's totally sturdy. It's a really great quality trailer hitch. I highly recommend Torklift Central Eco Hitch. Right now on their website, that is for sale for $428, so it is pricey, I'm not going to lie, versus what you would get from Curt or Draw-Tite. They are definitely a premium version, but that's because they're the only one currently on the market. Draw-Tite doesn't have anything. Curt doesn't have anything. They kind of have a monopoly on the market right now, but I do expect that Draw-Tite and Curt will make their own version at some point down the road. They did that with the 2022 Ioniq 5. It did take 6 months to a year for them to release their own option. So I guess if you're not in desperate need of one and you want to spend a little bit less, then try and hold out for a little bit longer. I was considering doing an installation video on the Torklift Central Eco Hitch, but they put out their own video. I'll have a link in the description if you want to see, if you want to try taking it on yourself. I really think most people can do it. You just got to have a few spare hours in case you do need a little bit more time. And don't rush through it. Make sure everything's torqued properly and nicely installed. Now, if you don't want that 2-inch receiver sticking out the bottom of your bumper, there is another company called Stealth Hitches, which makes a hitch that is very unique. It uses this proprietary connector to attach a 2-inch receiver. You lock it into place, and then when you don't need it, you can drop it out. And the same thing can be said for whatever ball you want to mount on the car. If you want a 1 7/8 or a 2-inch ball with a little gooseneck, you can purchase those separately. But this is a very expensive hitch, and for that reason alone, I do not recommend it. I personally like to wear my hitch as a badge of honor. It's not really something that you notice. It's down super low on the bumper. You hardly even see it. You can cover it up with a trailer hitch cover. I sell one on my store that has a fake little electrical outlet. But if you just want a 2-inch receiver from Stealth Hitches, that base kit, $568. And if you want to tow a trailer, $837. It is just very expensive. You might be saying, okay, well, if I don't want to spend $837, I can just put my own ball onto their 2-inch receiver little kit, their base kit. The answer is you can't do that. They specifically call out in their instructions, never use the rack receiver for towing. The rack receiver accessory is only to be used with payload carrying products such as bike racks or luggage racks. So there's some difference between the towing version and the 2-inch receiver that just makes them incompatible. Now, you might be saying, why can't I just use a hitch that was made for a 2022 through 2024 Ioniq 5? And the answer is that Hyundai added mass dampers to the exact spots where the trailer hitch is supposed to bolt onto the car. So you cannot use an older hitch with the 2025 or newer Ioniq 5. Mass dampers are used to prevent a vibration that happens at a certain frequency. So they added these because I guess they were having issues with vibration and noise with the older Ioniq 5. So there's really no way to work around that other than to get a hitch specifically designed for the 2025 and newer Ioniq 5. Now, if you're not game to installing the hitch yourself, if you go to U-Haul's website, they are supplying the Eco Hitch for the same price you would pay if you ordered it on their website. So you can go into any U-Haul facility, they'll order the hitch and install it on your car. So it looks like for installation, they charge $156, which honestly isn't too bad for an hour, hour and a half's worth of work. They'll probably do it really quick because they do these things all day, every day. Now, I have heard of a company called Rack Attack. We have one kind of locally in Boston. They sell trailer hitches, they sell bike racks and everything. They install hitches, but I have heard that their installation costs are ridiculous, like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I would steer clear of Rack Attack. Go to U-Haul for the cheapest installation. Now, some of you know I own a teardrop camper trailer. Unfortunately, I haven't had time to take it out this season, so I haven't towed with the 2025 Ioniq 5 yet. I'm definitely going to do it next summer, though. And the dry weight on that is about 1,200, 1,300 pounds, depending on how much stuff I have in it. When I towed it with my 2022 Ioniq 5, it was a breeze. With an EV, you really have a hard time even noticing a trailer is back there. That instant torque just really pulls the car and the trailer along. You don't really feel it. And because the Ioniq 5 weighs more than a comparably sized gas car, when you're braking, it's a little bit more difficult to notice it kind of pushing the car around. So that is nice as well. Keep in mind, the Hyundai Ioniq 5 is rated to tow 2,300 pounds with trailer brakes. If you have an unbraked trailer, it's rated for just over 1,600 pounds. My teardrop trailer does not have trailer brakes. So I'm within that range. I don't know of any trailer braking solution that integrates with the Ioniq 5. I haven't looked into it in a long time. I know you could get like a surge brake, which is built into the trailer itself. It doesn't need any power from the car or signal from the car. It just works on braking force. So that's probably the option I would ever use if I needed it. But yeah, you're gonna have to look into that yourself. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about the Torklift Central Eco Hitch. Pretty easy to install, high quality. The receiver is stainless steel, so it should last a long time. And all around, I'm really happy with it. So those are your trailer hitch options for the 2025 Ioniq 5. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Check out my store at ioniqguy.com for accessories for your Hyundai Ioniq 5, including that trailer hitch cover. Consider becoming a channel member for as little as 99 cents per month. For $3 per month, you can gain early access to all of my videos, as well as a discount to my store. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.